Good evening, guys. Right, where are we at? Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a admin stream tonight. I got a lot of fucking bases and fucking gear and shit to sort out. They're on net. Oh yeah, angry man. How are you, dude? Aren't you playing Arma 3? I saw you pop up on my Steam notification. Funnily enough, I actually freed up some time tomorrow to play Arma 3. I'm determined to sneak on and have a little go and see how long I last. Theron's just said playing Arma with my unit. Mate, good luck. Good luck, dude. I'll be checking it out, learning how not to drop my rifle, and then I promise you, I will give you a shout and let you show me the ropes, as long as you don't mind me being absolutely fucking useless. Yeah, tonight in my last stream I basically tore up around the map, opening up some bases out in the west. There's still some more out over here, and a lot of the shit I'm going to be doing tonight is going to be. It's going to be, well, it'll be boring for some people. It might be more interesting for some of the newer players, because it'll give you the opportunity to learn a few little tricks. But I've got to get this done. Basically, I've just got to basically push outwards and sort some shit out. I have just experienced for the first time the settler bug.
Got a dangerous look about you. Hope you ain't here for me.
For those of you who don't know what the settler bug is, it's basically a bug in Fallout 4 where sometimes your entire fucking settlement, the entire fucking settlement just suddenly decides to just drop what it's doing, and you end up with and I ended up with a settlement that had 25 unemployed people. I wondered what the fuck was going on, because I was actually setting up another base and tried to plant some crops I was trying to make some glue and ran out of materials, and I'm like, what the fuck have I got no materials? And basically because this entire fucking base of fucking idiots had all abandoned their jobs. I had 0 employed people, 0 people doing anything useful, but all 25 of them were obviously eating all the fucking food reserves in the settlement chain. So I'm now, one of the first jobs I've got to do is unfuck that situation, because obviously this is my biggest base. The settlement bug's no biggie. If you've got some shitty little base with 6 people in it, the settlement bug's no biggie. You can just run around and quickly reassign people. But when you've got like a fairly sophisticated base of 25 fucking settlers, having them all just basically fuck off into a corner to smoke crack makes everything a bit more complicated when you reassign them. They're on. Well, the game has a training campaign and has a tutorial trainer, so hit those up first. If you're lost, just message me. Thank you, mate. That's good. That's good news. I do like games that have tutorials and will take you through the basics. It's a lot better than, you know, having to just go straight onto YouTube and study. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I've surprised myself at how much I enjoyed Battlefield 1 actually, and I like the look of Arma 3 because it's leaning more towards the simulator side. You know, I'm not frankly, I'm not a big Call of, you know, when it comes to shooters, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. You know, the more realistic the better, frankly. And I know that's not to everybody's taste, but that's what I prefer. And thank you for the offer of help, mate. I very much appreciate that. Right. I will issue the caveat though. I'm fairly confident I'll be dreadful at it. You can't tell anyone. You have to tell them I'm superb. No one would believe that for a second. Right, let's get fucking stuck in. I'm just gonna check what my guys are doing. Yeah, the the other thing that I have to deal with, right, 10 unemployed people. As it's late, I'm going to manually assign these fuckers because they're all in bed, and it's really easy to assign people when they're all asleep. Let me have a look. I'd also note my habit of dressing settlers for specific tasks has actually paid off on this occasion, because it means that I have a better idea of who's doing what. I equip different people in a different order.
Okay.
And one of the things I do is I always give my merchants bowler hats so I know who they are. I generally always dress the general goods vendor in a mechanic suit. I always give the doctor where's the doctor, an Ushanka hat and glasses and a lab coat. I always give the person at the bar a chef's hat, and generally give hard hats to people who are scavenging and scrapping, because if you've got people who are out scavenging and scrapping, it's often worth giving, you know, if you're going to arm your settlers, it's often worth giving them the guns, for making them the first ones that you actually tool up with guns, because they're the ones who are probably going to make first contact with any hostiles that come near your base. You don't have to do it this way, but I tend to go to town on the whole RPG side of things. But yeah, this bug has proved fucking annoying given the size of this fucking base. I'm going to manually assign these, because the last time I tried to fix this using the console, it stripped everybody out of every job. Right, where are we? What have we got? What have we got? Don't want to do that. Specifically, I'm short of fucking potatoes. I really need my potato production to go up, because I've been, for you old Fallout veterans out there, I have been very careful to manage my balance between my potatoes, my mut fruit and my corn, so that I have a good nice balance of them, so that I have plenty of glue, so I can make vegetable, whatever the fuck it's called. Basically glue, vegetable starch.
Much, but it's something.
Right, what else am I going to do? I'm going to rename some of my equipment, because I've got to the point now where when I do a big loot, when I go off and fight with my power armor, I might come back with like 300 kilograms of shit, and then when I'm trying to distribute armor to settlers and all the rest of it, I'm getting to the point where I'm actually struggling to remember what's mine and what's theirs. So I'm actually going to quickly rename this stuff so it's easily identifiable. So this is left leg. for those of you who've been watching or haven't seen any of my other streams, another thing I do, this naming function is fucking great for place markers. One of the little things you can use this for is I use knuckles, brass knuckles, and I just rename them, and then I can use them as placeholders, because you can then just give them to settlers, and then when you inspect the contents of a settler, then they can say, you know, you can see that they are the provisioner between this base and this base, and they're easily identifiable because they're just carrying this set of knuckles that has been renamed provisioner Hangman's Alley to Taffington Boathouse, say. And hey mate, how you doing, Jonathan? And it's just an easy way to identify people, particularly provisioners, because provisioners I set them up fairly low key. Pardon says evening, how you doing? Ronaldine says knuckles, 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 and knuckles. Yeah, they're just so handy, because you know I tend to sort out my provisioners first, and then as the game progresses, as I pass by them, I'll spam them up with some more armor and a new gun and all the rest of that shit. So eventually they're really heavily armored fucking tanks walking across the landscape. And having that placeholder on them means I know which ones they are, because sometimes you might need to actually go and look for a particular person. But anyway, I had better pimp chess piece. Grenadier, damn it, Key, what the fuck? Armoured fucking tanks. Walk, so what I'm hearing is... Talking about armoured warfare for a minute there. Right, this is going to be interesting. I've got to go and speak to Garvey in a second. And this is new territory for me. I have no idea how he's going to react, because when I liberated him, he immediately issued me with a bunch of quests for settlements, and I've just basically gone to those settlements and murdered the settlers. So let's see how he takes the bad news.
I had some trouble. That settlement you sent me to, they aren't going to support our cause.
That's a real shame. We can't afford to waste opportunities to show people that the Minutemen can make their lives better. By the way, you should have one of these flare guns.
Great.
You can use it to signal for help from any nearby Minutemen.
I'm getting fucking rewards for murdering the people he sent me to save.
Eventually, you'll have help wherever you need it.
No wonder the Minutemen got so fucked.
How I ended up as the last one.
I figured you'd tell me when you were ready.
Have you heard of the Quincy massacre?
You guys came from Quincy, didn't you?
That's right. Mama Murphy.
Theron
Sturgis,
says you doing
Longs.
survival. Yes, mate.
They were all from Quincy. I was with Colonel Hollis's group.
You know what, guys? I'm
Mercenary
gonna
group called the Gunners
I'm gonna
was
skip through
attacking
this
Quincy.
because I don't
We were the only.
I don't want
We
to
know-
issue spoilers to people
As long as
who
you
haven't
don't give up.
I'm not about.
played the game,
Hey.
and secondly,
That means a lot.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
you can watch these.
Good. Good.
You can
Welcome
watch
aboard.
these cutscenes on YouTube. You don't
Don't
need
worry.
to sit there watching me.
That's
The leader. The one
So-
good thing about being the last Minuteman
The,
is
the one downside
No one
about
argue
the,
with me when
I
I
actually
say
really
you're
like the
general.
voice protagonist
Now it's your job
with
to
Fallout
make it more
4.
than an empty
I do think they've lost
Gotten word
something in
about
the
a settlement that's being
trickiness
threatened by
of the
raiders.
interaction. Because in sort of previous games it was like, fuck, what do I say? Because, you know, things can go very, very differently.
I'll mark it on your map. Go find out what they need. We could use more
Someone else to
settlements supporting
murder.
our cause.
Yeah, it's lost some of the trickiness. In the previous games, you know, you said the wrong things. You might like blow a reward that you can then never get again, all the rest of it. But I still like what they've done in Fallout 4. The only downside is that if you always press down, you'll get the best answer. If you want the most sympathetic sort of positive response, just press the down cursor key, and that's always the nice response. You know, it's like down is nice, left is arsehole, up is ask a question effectively, and they don't really mix that up. Chronodiem says, damn it, I had a keyboard seizure. And another settlement needs your help. Yeah, dear Lord, I think I'm probably going to regret having Garvey in my base. Where'd he go? Daron says, best way to play, i.e. survival. Yeah, I totally agree. I like this game as on the hardest settings, not because I rate myself as a great player or anything, just because, you know, it's a post-apocalyptical survival game. So therefore, the harder it is, the more realistic it is, and the more it feels like a real difficult game. You know, if the ammo and health packs are shitting from the sky, it just doesn't feel authentic. You want to be scrounging in every bin for every last round. So, how are we gonna do this? The other terrible confession I have to make is that I can't remember where I stowed those X01 armor pieces. The game crashed on my last stream. The game crashed, and I can't remember at what point I looted them. That perhaps I may have crashed at a point where I lost them, and I quickly off stream went and replayed the same section of the game to get back up to date. Or I've dumped them in a box somewhere whilst I was doing my massive run on the last stream, because obviously I went around a whole fucking ton of fucking bases unlocking them on a massive fucking killing spree, and I may have dumped them in a box on one of these bases to free up some space. So at some point I'm going to, over the weekend, go and retrace my steps. But fuck it, if they're gone, more will drop. It's just a matter of time. Let's test the Ragstag sausage maker. Still not quite lethal enough. I'd like that to be a little faster, actually. Better. Better than it was. It's still... Sorry, Bambi. Alright, well, made short work of her. I think that's good enough for now. I would say this is nicely keeping me supplied with Ragstag meat, and probably getting me in trouble with the RSPCA. Which reminds me, actually, I should at some point build a little cat trap and see if we can catch ourselves a real genuine scruffy. let's just check that people are doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. You know what I think may have bugged Sanctuary out? It was the fact that I had a very established base here, and then I went and did my quests. Then I went and did my quests down in Fucksville, Concord. And that the game was kind of designed for you to go down there, pick up those quests, get the initial base settlers, and then build on top of that. And I'm wondering whether that's part of the dynamic of why it fucks up so much. That basically you know, built the base and then went down into town. Right. What? Oh yeah, it's fair enough. So, I'm going to have to organise some settlement lines. My logic here is I'm trying to set up these settlement routes to provide me with as much armed cover in the areas where I'm going. So I'm thinking I might connect Green Top to Ten Pines, Zimonja to Slog. I think I might connect these two because the Steelworks is there, and there's also a gunner's base here. So having a heavily armed supply constantly walking between these two routes takes the edge off those units outside the buildings, because whenever you're nearby it will be aggroing them and fighting them. And yeah, so we need a Green Top, but we need a Slog to outpost Shimonza.
What are you building?
Christ almighty, who's that guy? He looks like a fucking creeper in the making. I guess he is going to be... He's going to be the fucking provisioner, because he's the creepiest guy here. See how badly fucked my armour is? Probably quite badly. Got a pretty good run out of this armour. I managed to do that entire run with all those bases, and I think I lost one leg, which wasn't brilliant because it was fucking calibrated, but oh well. What weapons, spare weapons have we got? Tell you what, if you set up sentry posts, or just give your settlers fucking miniguns for defence. It's hysterical. If you've ever seen a base where your settlers, like lots of your settlers, are all carrying miniguns, and you only have to give them like 1 or 2 rounds. I mean, I give them 5, but seeing a base suddenly all run out, whip out miniguns and start firing it's just fuck funny. It really is just. It's worth all the effort. I've got some of these made up, I think. Maybe not. Want to try and give this guy some armor. Welding goggles. I don't think I've got much fucking armor for this poor chap. Still, it's only a stopgap because, as you can see from my map, I did get busy in town and I have started the quest line for the railroad. I basically need to do that quest line so that I can get the ballistic weave recipe from them so I can start making bulletproof dresses. Right, where is the fucking rapist guy? Excuse me, has anybody seen a creeper? Oh, come on.
I just want to trade a few things.
Okay.
Well, it looked the part.
Just looking to trade a little.
Sure thing.
Slog to outpost Zimonja. Right, let's have a look at the map. Yeah. That will do it. Green top to 10 pines. Gonna quickly check again. Yeah. Grenadier says,
Hi,
and
how are
another,
you?
and another one. Yeah, Preston Garvey is a annoying douche at times. This guy, by the way, the Vault-Tec rep, is actually a level 4 provisioner, and I'm going to just, it's not ideal, but I'm actually just going to set him up with a store here. Because he is the shit. He is a... Oh, come on, move, you daft bugger.
Hey, now that you're back here in Sanctuary, how would you like a job?
A job?
Trying to do him a bit delayed, friend. Yeah, sorry, man, I got a bit distracted. Want a job?
What do you say?
Yeah, this
Wanna
is a
work for
level
me?
4... A level... Oh, God.
Yes.
He's a level 4 merchant.
This
There's
is
some
the
level
best
4
thing to
merchants
happen
around
to
the
me.
map. They're people you can interact with, and then when you send them to a base, as long as you fulfill the criteria, they will go to that base, and then you can turn them into merchants, and they will have superior inventory than normal
Hey.
settlers. And he is one. The thing is, he's a bit of a cock, basically. When you speak to him, he often bugs out and wants to tell you his fucking life story every time you speak to him. So for now, I'm just going to stick him out here out the way. I'll get the benefits of him if I want to trade with him. I'll get the benefits of him generating some money for the base if there are unemployed people here to spend money. And it means that also when I'm just doing a quick sale, you know, I'm just running around grabbing my water out of here, which I probably haven't got any, but oh yeah, I have, and selling it.
You've got to have something there.
I can, if I'm in a hurry, I could just sell it without fucking going up to him and having him fucking inflict a fucking 2-hour autobiographical story on me. Theron, I ended up making all my settlements look like military outposts with all my settlers wearing army gear. Yeah, I completely go to town, mate, as well. I've done a playthrough where I was Brotherhood of Steel, and I literally dressed all my settlers in Brotherhood of Steel outfits, like everywhere. I really did go for it. I don't actually want to do that. But this playthrough, I want to turn all of these places into fucking brothels. Right. What's my next chore? Right, I need my green top to 10 Pines Bluff. I think I'm just going to fast track this and then I can go full mental on this later. And yeah, at some later date I'll hunt these guys down, stick better equipment on them and all the rest of it. For now, I think just for the sake of your sanity, I'm just going to rush through this. Someone just try and speak to me. I think Sturgis wants a chat. Sturgis wants a chat, and I should get a nice bit of XP out of this. I will need a Finch farm to a slog. Finch farm to a slog. Finch farm. Finch farm. Yeah, these guys don't look very happy actually, considering it's 9:30 AM and they are all pretty much in the wrong fucking place. I have a feeling I might actually have to box or get the fuck out of this place.
Hey, Sturgis.
You willing to do some work?
And let the cell reset.
I'd be glad to help. Just tell me what you need.
Well, for starters, we could use some real beds. We've been sleeping on the... Just make sure we can sleep with a roof over our heads. Some of these old houses still look solid. There's a workbench...
Sturgis.
I like
Way ahead of you, Sturgis.
Having a place to sleep will improve everything. What we need now is a reliable source of clean...
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
Great.
Uh-huh.
I feel better already. Knowing we have... if we're gonna...
Come on,
I'll
Sturgis.
start planting right away.
Good deal.
Sturgis.
Now, this place is starting to feel like home. Trouble... What we need is the...
I'm on it.
Thanks. It'll make everyone feel more secure here. Thanks for doing that. We'll all sleep better at night knowing we have some defenses set up. It's been a long road. But yeah,
I was glad to help.
well, I appreciate it. Of course, you know you're welcome anytime. My door's always open. Windows, too.
Pardon, says Christ, spit it out, Sturgis. Yeah, it's when you've played this through a few times, you know, it's fine. You can put up with some of like the long speeches, but you know, I don't. When you don't, what you're conscious, you don't want to inflict it on other people. It's like fucking Jesus, they take an eternity. I think I'm gonna pick some people from here to be the provisioners because basically the more time I spend at a base, chances are the more it's all female, because I will have had the time to send the guys as they arrive to the death camp. But because the further the bases are away, the more it will just be a random selection of people. So Sanctuary is pretty much optimal now. It's virtually perfect. Just pretty much women. But this place I haven't had that much time to get to. Right, what do we got? I think I might have the perfect job opportunity for top to 10 points. You'll do. Fuck me, that guy's uglier than my character. And I'm actually trying to make mine ugly.
I was glad to help out.
Well, I can't argue with your timing. Who knows what would have happened to us if you hadn't been here. Anyway, we appreciate the help.
Yes, God knows what would have happened if I hadn't been here. It's not like the fucking 18 heavy-duty machine gun turrets wouldn't have taken care of it. Right, now
I just need to trade gear with you.
trade with me.
Sure.
Crikey, he doesn't look very well, does he? Not that I'm really in a position to be commenting on. Fuck me, did I didn't. Bollocks. Just need to quickly unfuck these mining helmets. That's better. Nice green mining helmets to make these guys nice and distinct. Obviously, I keep an eye on who has the green rag hats, because when I go and do the the railroad quest, and I get ballistic weave, green rag hats are one of the few headgear that can take ballistic weave. So they level 5 ballistic weave gives you more protection than early level bloody combat armor. You get something mad from it, like 140 DR or something. Green top to 10 pines. Does that sound right? Yeah. Green top to 10 pines it is. See, there is method to this madness. Now, the $1 million question is, yes, I'm going Finch to the slog. But I think I'm going to grab someone from Abernathy Farm. It means I've got an opportunity to just go and check on their welfare. I did finally get a decent fucking weapon. I got a... I better just check what it's called. The Deadeye calibrated sniper rifle. Personally, I prefer sniper. I prefer any. You know, I don't want like quality of life weapon talents. I want fucking raw damage. So say something like an initiating sniper rifle is great for fucking Alpha Strike. But this is the first... I can't really actually remember having a legendary sniper rifle. But you know what? I think I probably get vastly more damage out of the damn thing. Because it slows time when you aim for a few seconds. And if you keep shouldering it every time you shoot, you can keep the slow time buff up practically all the fucking time. And... you can just land pinpoint fucking shot after pinpoint shot on NPCs, and it suddenly becomes very handy. About the spluttering, I got this sub-ohm vape, which I don't normally mess around with, but I got a bit overexcited today and gave it a shot. Yeah, it goes without saying, guys, if anyone's got any questions... I mean, I think nearly everyone watching this... Rico! Hi, mate, how you doing? I'm very good, mate. How are you? I was just about to say, I think nearly everybody watching is already a fan of this game and probably knows as much or more about it than I do. But if anyone does have any questions or interested how I do a particular thing, then fire away. One of the reasons I wanted to stream this as well is that I did, once upon a time, want to do an entire tutorial series on this game, but it fell by the wayside because the dumps take so long to do. And this was a way of basically honouring the promise to myself.
Huh?
I'm liking how this is looking, actually. I think I am going to plant a few... Yeah, I'm just gonna plant a few more potatoes. Yeah, I was a bit disturbed by my potato fucking crisis when I was at another base. Suddenly decided I wanted to put a new scope on my new Deadeye weapon, and suddenly I had 0. So I'm going to be obsessively checking on the status of Sanctuary. I think we might go and do a bit of fighting today, we'll see. Should really, if anything, I should really just go and stick up, go on a bit of a travel and go and stick up some recruitment beacons in these places. But I think I'll probably go in power armor, because as much as I like to travel light and fast when I'm on survival, you know, Nordhagen Beach is a pretty fucking hostile place to get to. Unless you got some very good, very tidy gear. So I mean, I've got 75 corn, fantastic. 75 nut fruit, 25 potatoes. I thought they'd actually patched out the fucking potato bug, but it appears to be alive and kicking. For those of you who don't know, there's a... Basically, if your settlements don't have food, then... Or your settlers don't have food, they will take it from your bases. And i.e. all your connected bases share the common food loot pool.
Hi, how are you?
I'd like to trade some items.
So unfortunately, they will... one base going hungry will start to tuck into all of your food supplies. And the bug originally came about because there was some script in the game that basically ordered which food they would take first. And potatoes is top of the list. So basically every fucking time any of your bases go hungry, they will start clearing out your reserves of fucking potatoes across your entire settlement structure. Hence the potato bug. Fuck me, I'm such a Fallout nerd. Right, let's go and dump this shit off. Suit up and go exploring. What the fuck is up with this base? This base is constantly under attack from raiders.
Still in one piece.
Never seen anything like it on this playthrough. I mean, you probably saw the... I mean, look. The fucking bodies are still here from the last fucking raids. They are just popping up constantly. I mean, I don't mind because I've got fucking... I've got machine gun turrets coming out of my fucking ears in this base, so I don't mind. These guys just appear and then they die. And I get to loot their stuff, so, you know, I'm not complaining, but... It is kind of weird how keen they all seem to be to come and die. Yeah, let's go and see if Sanctuary has unfucked itself from its... I mean, it's fucking carnage. And in fact, there's a spot down there that just below that tower on that road. It's pretty... let's just say my defensive coverage is more than adequate, and there's a spot on that road where it was just literally like a pile of raiders, where as each one mounted the crest of the hill, they were immediately fucking annihilated with a hail of bullets, and they just all ended up dead in a fucking pile where they fell. So I was quite happy with that. That structure back there, I like that. I will, if I'm in a hurry, I will just use these circular concrete things to build a 2 or a 3-story tube, put some floor on the top, build a couple of wooden ladders up, stick 4 of these Mark II turrets up there. Jobs are good, and stick 1 or 2 of those, you know, stick one of those in the centre of a base, or a couple of those near the perimeter so they cover each other, and yeah, for want of any better arrangement, that will take care of quite a lot. Obviously things get a little bit more serious when you head further south, because everything gets more serious further south. Where is my fucking... It's fucking useless. God, I've sounded like a... Sounded like a wife beater then, didn't I? She's fucking useless. Right, let's sell some of this. Sell as much of this crap as we can. Probably break our legs in the process, and then we'll jump into power armor and go and get our beacons up.
Hey.
If you're looking for armor, I may have something you can use.
Let's see what you got.
Let me know what you'd like.
Oh, she's got no fucking money.
Hey there.
Looking for a weapon?
Sure. Let's take
Are
a
you
look.
looking
Let
for
me
a
know what you'd
weapon?
like.
Fuck that then. Let's get in the magic suit. This might look like, this power armor might look like shit, but it served me well. What do we got? By the way, guys, I will have a news dump coming out. If I can get the editing finished tomorrow, there'll be a news dump out tomorrow.
Carl.
And my
Need to pick something up? Road's pretty long from here.
I'll take a look. Sure.
and
break it?
I think I have cracked the Alejandro code. That's all I can say for now. But it will become clear tomorrow. Right. Let's get our grubby hands on her junk. And yes, that sounded a little bit weirder than normal. And normally it's pretty weird. Right, concrete's always good. Concrete, copper for... Yeah. I'm starting to hoard like copper, and if I can afford some ceramic, because obviously I got a lot of brothels to build. At the moment I'm just kind of throwing them up any old how, but eventually I'm going to have to do some fairly serious lighting and stuff like that. So I'm trying to build up a bit of a reserve, because yeah, I mean, some of these fucking bases are going to end up chock full of lighting, fancy lighting, you name it. Big fluorescent signage. So yeah, I want to start getting the materials I need for all of that shit. Not to mention the fact that it's one of those, at the best of times, what the fuck am I overburdened? Why the fuck am I overburdened? Shit, fusion cores have taken me over the limit.
What have you got to trade today?
You came to visit.
Not much. That Apocalypse Grieve is not much of a bloody compensation, really, is it, for a level 4 merchant? But apparently, actually, fuck this. I'm gonna go and have a nap before I move off, because this is survival, so I can't save. And I think I might quickly see the dock, make sure I'm not busted up. I'm in perfect health. Bet you I get bed aids again.